Oh, look at those geese. All the way from Canada. Hey, you guy. Ah, it feels good to be back in the saddle. So we went on a beautiful ride today. We had 4 riders who said they were coming, and then one that was a maybe, and it ended up one rider could make it. Different reasons. One person's bike had an issue, so they had to go back home. The other riders who are strong riders with us, the reason that they didn't attend today is because today's a special day. Today's Mother's Day, so everybody wants to be home and celebrate their moms. So I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And to quote my stepfather, John, he said, Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and you're all mothers. He's a fun guy. He needs his own reality show. But yes, so Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We just stopped off at Port Jefferson, New York, and there's a parking lot where cars have to pay to get in, but motorcycles can park free, which is really nice. At one point, they had banned motorcycles from parking there and going in, which was a really bad move because the whole little town of Port Jeff has bars and restaurants and Italian Ice's place. There's a brewery. There's a lot of places there that a lot of motorcyclists walk around. And I don't know if you know, I'm sure you do if you're watching this, that motorcyclists can make or break a town. Well, when they put that ban of no motorcycles parking in that parking lot anymore, we couldn't park on the street. That was really hard. So they lost a lot of revenue. Needless to say, I think it was one summer or two that they lifted that ban and they gave us access again to park there, and the motorcycles are back. And it's actually cool. A lot of people like to see motorcycles. But this is nice. Fresh flowers. Ooh, and fresh pies. I want to dedicate this video to my mother, Alicia. She's a true lady, a special woman who is the example of what a lady should be. Classy, elegant, and she's beautiful. So happy Mother's Day, Alicia. I love you. So we did our ride that we call the North Shore ride. Oh, look at this cool guy's bicycle. Maybe he could pedal. That's cool. Wow, it's like an elliptical bicycle. We did this beautiful ride. I wasn't recording but I'll tell you what Arnold and I decided we should call that ride. We're gonna call it the Hollywood Hills of Long Island, because there's so many hills and so many twisties. It reminds me of Mulholland Drive in LA. I picture a graphic of the Hollywood Hills, where that sign that says Hollywood, the white letters, those white letters, it should say North Shore, Long Island, because that little road, that little route, it's not little. It's, Arnold, how many miles is that route that we take? So go back and forward, it's like 120 miles. Yeah? Like round trip. 20? 140. So that little ride, that little trip that we take is like 140 miles, door to door. It's so beautiful. And there are so many of these places that are closed still, because we're still on the New York pause, aka lockdown. A lot of restaurants have curbside delivery. I actually saw when we were riding a McDonald's and the girl was bringing the food out to the cars. So this morning was a little chilly. We have our heated gear on. And now it's nice. I'm just wearing the stuff without the power on. Now it's probably about, well, I could look on my motorcycle and see the temperature, but it's fine. I think it's like 55, which is good. I could have worn a hoodie, but I didn't bring it, so I have all these layers on. Oh, it's 63. Oh God. All right, well, if you guys hear that I'm pausing, because I have the Cardo Connect and I'm talking to Arnold. I would like to know how to import Arnold's audio so that you could hear us both talking. You could just hear what I'm asking him. When I asked him what the temperature was, he told me it was 63. When I asked him how many miles our route is from door to door, and it's 130, 140, I forgot already, see? He's answering me. So it would be cool if we could get him in on the audio. It'll happen. It has to be. There has to be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Something that I wrote in my mother's Mother's Day card, which I have her gift and her card in my saddlebags because of this quarantining, self-quarantining. I don't go out. I only go out for a motorcycle ride, so I planned on the way back home to drop off her gift. Hey guy, I know I didn't do that universal wave. I didn't do it to be a mean person, but I was distracted. Sometimes I used to take it personally when I would be like, hey, and wave, you know, you do that to the rider going past, and they wouldn't respond, and I'm like, what a jerk. But you know what? I think it could be that they're distracted. It could be that they're not comfortable letting go of the handlebar. I don't know. But I used to get offended. Now I'm like, oh, see, I just did it. That flag that was hanging from that house said, "Thank you, truckers." Yep, thank you, truckers. Because they're bringing us everything we need. And things we don't need. But they are essential. I stand up on my floorboards, my footboards, when I see a bump because I don't want to hurt my back. I have 3 herniated discs, so I do that a lot. This town is called St. James. The police. You know, on my last video, I talked about how we got a ticket, and what I've noticed now that there's so many police out, and since I think this is my theory and Arnold's theory, we were talking about it this morning over breakfast, that maybe because New York, usually there's so many people out that there has to be a lot of police to police the people. But now, since there are so few people out on the road, the ratio of police to drivers and people who are out and about is shifted, so maybe they have more time to focus on other things because there's nothing much going on. I don't know. It just seems like there are more police on every turn, especially on the main roads. You'll see them like parked behind a tree, hidden. Not hidden, they're just in a driveway or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe because that happened to us, I'm more aware of them being out. So this is Nissa Quogue, and this is where the ride starts getting pretty. And there's hubby ahead of me. Oh, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In the morning when we started around 9. Oh, there's a deer down there. Oh, cutie. Early in the morning there were hardly any cars, but that's good. Those guys turned to the right. Whee! Look how beautiful. And then you'll see to the right, it's Nissa Quogue River. So pretty. 'cause you're in New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do when you're in New York. Ah, it smells so good. You could smell the greenery, the river. You can smell sometimes when we're by the bay. You smell it smells like clams. And the algae, you could smell, especially when it was low tide. And when you're in a car, of course you can smell these things, you can see it, but it's different. I think when we're out on the motorcycle, your senses are heightened. When you're in a car, of course you're going to see the same sights, but it's different when you're in a car. You experience the road differently. Arnold says you become part of the road, part of the environment. Someone or some restaurant was doing a barbecue, and you could see the smoke in the air, and you could smell the steaks or whatever they were grilling. Oh my god, it smelled so good. And I think if you're in a car, you would see it and you would smell it, but it wouldn't engulf you, you know? That's a cool part of being on a motorcycle. And we saw at the end of the route before we stopped for a little lunch and coffee break, in that parking lot that I was telling you that they used to charge and they didn't let motorcycles hang out there. There's an Argentinian barbecue place, which I can't wait for that to open, because I'll look forward to having that for lunch. Even if we have to take it with us and put it in our saddlebags and eat it at a park. Man, Argentinian steakhouse, Argentinian barbecue is so good. There you go. They waved. Look, I got better at it. Last week I don't know what I did, but I said I need practice revving my engine through tunnels or when I'm going under an overpass. So that was fun. I have this camera mounted to this harness on my chest, which works. It has a nice angle to look at the road ahead. I like the height of it. But Arnold ordered a putty so that I can mount the GoPro to my helmet. It'll be here in the front, which will be nice, because I won't have this thing like in my face, which it doesn't really bother me, but it won't shake as much, because if I hit a bump, this like wobbles around a little, and we don't want that. But I really have been enjoying vlogging. Arnold and I sit, and he is at the edit, controlling all of that technical stuff, which I mentioned the last time on my vlog, that he's the one who sets me up, and I appreciate it so much. But I'm hoping that as we do it more often, I will learn a little. Because at first I was a little nervous to set up, to put the harness on and to connect my GoPro to the handlebars and to put my lav and the zoom in my pocket and do all that, and I was a little nervous, but this is my third time and I felt comfortable doing it. While we were getting ready to leave, I set myself up. Of course I needed a little help from Arnold. a little help. I need a lot of help from Arnold, but I was able to get more comfortable with it, and that's like everything else. You just get used to it. So I wanted to mention how I came up with the name Judy for my motorcycle. When I just got my motorcycle, Arnold and I went on a road trip. I think it was 2 days, and we were in Connecticut. And coming back, the whole time I was thinking, you know, people give motorcycles a name. I never gave my former motorcycle a name, but I know people do give their motorcycles names. And on that trip, I had the first time I was riding with the fairing, with the radio, and I could listen to music, and I had my phone Bluetooth to the speakers on my bike, and I was listening to all kinds of music, and I was thinking, based on my music, I could think of a name. And I went through lots of names. You know the Cult, that music band, has a song called Firewoman? And I thought, ooh, Firewoman, that's a good name for my bike. Because I actually had a name for her. And I was going to call her the Widowmaker. The same day that I went to the Harley dealership to pick up my motorcycle, the day that I went in with the check to pay for my new bike, was June 15th. It was the same day 1 year before that my husband had been complaining of some, like, almost like anxiety feeling. Oh, that was not good. Some anxiety feeling the shortness of breath, feeling like he had no energy. That day that he went immediately to the hospital because the cardiologist said, go there now, do not stop, whatever the Monopoly game says, don't stop and collect $200, just go. And he went for an angiogram. That day they put a stent in his main artery, which was blocked 99%. So that was the day Arnold had an angiogram and had a stent put in. And when I was waiting in the waiting room and the doctor came out, it's a longer story. I'll tell you the story if you want. Not if you want. I'll probably tell you the story another time. But June 15th was a year to the day that I could have been a widow, because the surgeon who came out showed me the x-rays, and he said, this is where the blockage that your husband had, and it's called the Widowmaker. I was like, what? So because of June 15th, a year ago, was the day that I could have been a widow, and a year later, I'm buying a motorcycle with my husband, who's here with me, thank God, and who's the healthiest he's ever been because of that. Somebody's doing a barbecue. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah, so I was like, oh, it's perfect. I'll call her the Widowmaker. She's black. It's all black. You know, it looks a little mean, a little sickening. But my mom, my stepfather said, that's like a creepy name. And I'm like, yeah, but it means something to me. And one of my friends from church, Ayanna, if you're watching this, Ayanna, I love you. You really were there for me, and you really were like a spiritual mother to me when I needed it. So I thank her for that. But she messaged me, and we know we have power of life and death in our tongue. And she said, I don't know if that's such a good name. You know, you're like calling bad stuff onto you. So that's when I was like, yeah, maybe I should change the name. I had like a few people, 3 people tell me, like, I don't know. I think Arnold also said it's kind of like morbid, but it was just special to me that day. And instead of it being a sad event, it was like a joyous event, which I guess you wouldn't understand it if you didn't go through that. But anyway, when I came back from that trip, the next day or so, we went to my mom's house, and I was washing my bike from the trip in her driveway, and I was just thinking about how much I never thought I would love a material thing. And I'm like, wow, this bike, you know, she's my real good Judy. And you know, I said that to myself. I'm like, she's my good Judy. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's a perfect name, Judy. Because she's my good Judy. She's my girl. So that's how I got the name Judy. So she's me, it's me and my Judy. My channel is me and my Judy. My girl. She's a good girl. She's reliable. She's comfortable. She's beautiful. Sometimes she's a dirty girl because she doesn't get washed often. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves Jesus and her boyfriend too. My previous motorcycle, I never used to wash her. Oh my God. Her, him. I didn't have a relationship like that with my previous motorcycle. But yeah, I wouldn't wash it ever. I'm like, who has time to wash it? Seriously. And Arnold's like, how do you even get on it? Oh God. But yeah. I washed it last week. And I'm like, oh, it looks so pretty when it's clean. So that's how I got the name for my motorcycle. My Judy. Thank you so much for watching my vlogs, and I hope that you enjoy them. Again, like I said last time, I hope that you enjoy them as much as I enjoy making them. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next vlog. Thank you. What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, you stupid asshole, you dumb motherfucker? Wow, what a fucking piece of garbage. I hate to see all those fall. What a freaking douchebag. Sorry with all the curse words. Wow. What a dork. What a dork. Well, listen, it's all about him. That's what people think. It's all about you. It ain't all about you, dork.